welcome to Cognitions, Speaking the Unspeakable with JP.
And Stacy D.
I'm JP Craddock, and I am here with the one and only, the lovely Miss Stacy D. Love. And we are broadcasting here on KUAW Radio, which stands for Knowledge, Understanding,
And wisdom.
and Wisdom. All right, coming up on the show today, we have our question of the day.
What is the question of the day?
Which is, I've accomplished everything that I dreamed of except a happy relationship. Why am I still single?
You know what? I did not get the memo about the question of the day, and I'm walking out. Are you trying to talk about me or something? Is this personal?
You know I don't have volume on my...
I'm out of here.
Oh my
They talking about me in my face.
the D done been married about 8 times, okay? So clearly this question ain't about you.
You didn't have her in mind, did you?
Look, this question clearly ain't about the D. D, how many times you been married?
3.
3 plus 5. Listen, this is why this is a good question. This is a good question because this applies to both males and females, and I married late in life. I was in my 40s. Now, how old were you when you got married the first time?
19.
Okay, so this is going to be interesting because we have had 2 opposite approaches. Because I became a parent late in life, and how were you? Well, D started parenting soon as she was born. She was pregnant.
Pop goes the weasel. What? I went from playing with Barbie to playing with Brandon.
The D came out of her mama and got pregnant.
There it was.
Oh Lord, that is so okay.
Look,
so
he had a funny, didn't he?
Listen. So this is going to be interesting because people are marrying later in life, but this is a common question that I'm getting now. Yes, I do get it primarily from females, but there are males who are struggling with this and trying to figure out, like, what's going on? Why am I still single? So this isn't something that is just an issue as far as, women are concerned.
Well, I was starting to feel some type of way. Do I need to call our other friend too?
Actually, hold on. I shortened this question. Here's the whole question. This is how it applies to both men and women.
Okay.
I mean, it's a woman. I'm a successful black woman who has accomplished everything I could dream of except a happy relationship with a great guy. Why am I still single? That does sound like you, D. Oh, shit.
I'm about to leave the building.
This is about
and everybody's going to call back and be like, Stacy D, we need you on there. We're going to need you on there. What you can just stop talking about?
Listen, this is why this sounds like you. Because you have accomplished goals around education, professional goals, entrepreneurial goals, like house, cars. You
drop top suit, 2-seaters.
You are basically this question is you, D.
Why you think I walked out on you?
But hold on. This question really isn't you, because this is a question that is posed by people who have never been married. People who have been married, they usually are like, I don't care if I never get married again.
Oh, no, I want to get married again.
See? So I guess this kind of applies to you, but I don't think that's the majority. I think the majority of people, once they've been married, they're like, well, even if they are willing to do it again, it's not something that they're like, nah, I've been there and done that. Especially with males, like my male friends who have been married. It's almost like a box they done checked off. They like, nah, I've kind of been there and done that. It's a wrap on that. I'm just content to date around.
Okay, but what about when you get in your 60s and 70s and 80s? And I think the reason why I do want to get married again, and I hold it so dear to my heart, is because I deal with the senior citizen, the older American, and I can see how lonely they are by themselves. And the ones that are married, they flourish a little bit more. They're a little bit more healthier. They still out doing things, take the little Sunday rides, even though they're in their 80s. And their grandkids come and take them riding on Saturdays. Their health is better than the single individuals. That's going to be another topic
So
for
you
another
want
day.
something. The D is speaking to having someone to grow old with.
Most definitely. My partner and the single individuals.
I can understand that.
Yes, and it's going to be, and I'm just not going to pick anyone because I have quite a few to pick from right now.
And you love having quite a few.
No, it's really too much work.
You have
Wait
a
a minute.
ball.
No, do you know what I pray every morning?
She's having a ball.
No, I'm really not. Every morning I pray and say, God, help me not to tell another lie. Do my mouth and my tongue
the
so
men?
I do not lie.
This is your check-in. Let's go into the check-in. What kind of lies are you telling men as a dating? Because we're doing this show on basically being single and dating and ending up in a relationship. Now, what lies are you feeling you have to tell?
It's different lies in it because when I was younger and I was just out here having a good time and playing, I used to tell everybody the truth. Like, hey, I'm doing da 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 da. You can deal with it or you don't have to deal with it. Now I'm meeting like real good mates. I just don't feel them. But I'm thinking like maybe if you spend some time with them that you might be able to start feeling them. So I don't want to like.
True.
I don't want to do a bird in the hand beats two in the bush. So it's like I'm not trying to drag them on, but I tell them, I'm still going through things, and I'm gonna call you back. But then I might forget to call them back.
But that's not the lie.
That
What's
is a
the
lie. That is a lie.
Not if you forgot to call them back.
No, if
Are
I tell you I'm gonna call you back and I don't call you back, that's a lie.
No, it's not. A lie is intentional.
Oh, I do some of those too.
What are those?
I can't tell because they be trying to watch me.
Well, this will help the relationship
It's gonna help
because
the
now you
relationship.
won't be able to tell those lies. D, what lies does a single person have to tell? I haven't been single in
A whole lot because everybody wants to take me out every day. And I'm like, no, I cannot go out every day.
That's the truth.
Yeah, I really can't go out every day.
Right.
But sometimes I'd be like, the hell with work and I will go out with someone. And then it'd be a bad date. And then they be wanting too much. Do anybody understand? I understand that we are older, we are middle age, we're on the 5th floor, but they act like we still like teenagers. Like, and I was
That
like,
makes
I
it more
really
fun.
I really want to get to know someone. I want to know, do you like the things I like? Do you still have the same type of views that I like? I want to know,
That's
do
true
you
dating.
compliment me?
Yep, that's
Come on in.
oh my God. Do that one more time. I'm walking off the show. D. You have got to stop doing that.
I know. I was trying to look at you. And
Oh my
wave.
God.
But
ADHD.
is it things that we like? I mean, is it anything? I mean, okay. So, and believe it or not, I'm actually like have been going out on dates with men who I am not physically attracted to.
One, you are describing true dating in saying that you want to have conversations about whether or not it's a good match.
Yeah, but guess
That's
what?
what is supposed to happen.
Exactly, but I'm getting the same type of stuff that I was getting when we were on a dating site. Oh, I just want to do this and I just want to do that to you. Hold up, swole up.
Get you, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Can you send me a picture? Hell no!
Oh, that's going too far. What I was gonna say
An
is,
inappropriate picture.
at some point, there does need to be conversations about sexual compatibility, because I am seeing older couples, people who've gotten married in their 40s, who the woman reclaimed her virginity, and so they didn't have any premarital sex. And those relationships sometimes struggle because they find out the wedding night that they have different sexual
expectations,
interests, and finding out on the wedding night from your new spouse, "Ooh, I don't do that." What? All right.
In the Bible, it says the bed is undefiled.
I ain't gonna be able to do all that. And then the person's like, "Oh my Lord, so I'm supposed to live the rest of my life without certain things." And I'm not even talking about real freaky stuff either. I'm talking about regular stuff. Like, here's an example. A gentleman who said, "I just want to be towel dried off when I get out of the shower. That's all I want this woman to do."
Oh, that's simple. I love that. That's simple.
Towel dry me.
Yes, and then I will wet you with my kisses.
And he probably, yes. That's most likely what he wants.
Yes.
And because him and his new spouse, they did not have any premarital sex, and apparently they didn't have conversations about these specific things, and he found out later she ain't into that. She's like,
that was really simple.
You know where the towel is. What's wrong with you? You ain't a baby.
Once again, that's not being that Proverbs 31 woman, though. You stupid.
She said, "I ain't drying a damn thing. You better. I'm busy." She rolled up out the bathroom.
See, even like
left
taking
him there
showers together, I'm gonna shower my significant other down. He just needs to stand there because I'm gonna bathe him up and rub him down and wash his hair. Honey, I will shave mine and everything.
But you see, these are conversations to have while you're dating.
They're not wanting those conversations.
But
I'm trying to have those conversations.
These are conversations to have because
they're not wanting them.
Because when
they just want me to come over and spend a night.
Well, they're wanting to show you what they want.
No, we need to talk.
They want to show. I can show you better than I can
understand the treasure, do they?
Yeah, they said they can show you better than they can tell.
Nah, they don't understand the treasure. I mean, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. And I don't know if this gentleman is on the air or not, but probably about 6 months ago. Probably 8 months ago, I really met someone that I was very much compatible with. I mean, we could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours. It was a good relationship, and I'm
Did y'all
trying
have
to
those conversations
after a while. And it was fine, but it was because we built a relationship and we were able to have those. We wasn't having those in the first couple of weeks, no.
But over the course of courtship, you would need to have conversations, not just about what you like sexually, but conversations about, hey, this is where I'm at in my life. This is where I'm at financially. This is what my business goals are. Are you okay with that? What are your goals? Where are you at? Like, do you want kids? Do you not want kids?
Hell no, I ain't gonna want no kids on the fifth floor.
No, not you, D. But we have listeners who are younger who they need to be having those conversations because I know someone who the boyfriend told her that they could have kids. He already had a kid. He agreed. She didn't have any children.
Didn't have any. And he went and got fixed on her after they were behind her back and they were married. And I would have done something to him.
And she is now going the rest of her life without children.
Without any children. And she don't even have any nieces or nephews.
Right. Now, they had the conversation.
And he said,
and he was a liar. But for those couples out there who are not even having these conversations, that's a problem. And I'm seeing a lot of people who are coming in for individual therapy. You would be shocked at the things that they are uncomfortable discussing with their partner. And I asked them,
really?
How are you going to marry this person and you're uncomfortable having these conversations?
Okay, so here go the best thing. Like passing gas. I want to be able to pass gas.
You got to be to a certain point in a relationship before you just start letting out the farts.
I know, but we should be
don't do
passing
that on the
gas
first
before
date.
the altar.
Well, yeah, before the altar.
Yeah, before we go to the altar. What you think about that, Mr. Walker? Can we pass gas before we go to the altar?
Mr. Walker looked like he been passing gas around his wife for years. Okay, she somewhere with her hair straight as a whip from Mr. Walker's gas. Here's listen. We're kind of joking about this, but that does speak to a level of comfortability in a
Yes.
relationship because
See, men will do it, but we as women, we try to be like, oh, we can't do
letting out a
that.
little poot here and a little poot there.
Walk out the room and everything, and won't even do a bow movement.
There are women who get up an hour earlier than their spouse to get fully made up and
I'm
then
not
get
doing
back
that.
into bed so that when he wake up,
don't
she's
wear
in all
makeup.
her glory.
I don't wear makeup, so that's a good thing for me.
Right. Well, and see, those
And
are
then some women looks like that.
those are women who they're not gonna feel comfortable passing gas if they don't feel comfortable with him seeing her with crusties in her eyes in the morning and no makeup and her hair all over her
I
head.
know. Well, my hair not gonna be over my head. I'm gonna have a scarf on and a bonnet, and don't mess with the hair.
Right.
Don't mess with the hair.
So what we're kind of discussing is comfortability. We're talking about the conversations that need to be had. There needs to be open communication.
Has to be.
And anything that you are uncomfortable talking about, that's a sign that it needs to be talked about. Whether it has to do with life, goals, or your sex life, or are we having kids, we not having kids, all of these things need to be talked about. Okay.
And
but-
and that's what I need to go back to. The gentleman that I was dating, I just really want to beat him up because it was such a great relationship.
y'all talked about everything.
Everything. And and it's really good because he's my benchmark for other guys, and he really set the bar high because if I can't just on the communication level.
Oh, okay,
And
because it ended a little fast for him to be setting the bar.
He set the bar because the beginning of it was really good. So
There's obviously something you need to avoid though, because it
I just
ended.
need to avoid crazy men.
So he's crazy.
Someone that's not, I don't know what the hell. We got to talk about that another day. I don't know what was wrong with her. Or maybe it was something wrong with the D. Maybe the D might be too much.
That's possible.
I think it was the D.
But
And
why
it
didn't
made
y'all
him
talk
feel
about it?
uncomfortable. I know, and that's the reason why I'm sorry. We have talked about it months later, but now it's really too late. But we did talk about it, so it was cool, and I understood.
I've given that as an assignment to clients before for them to, for the exes that they have a somewhat friendly relationship with, to go back and have those conversations
And I think he want me back.
and saying what went wrong. What is it? Is there anything that you did not tell me that was a turn off? You see what I'm saying? Those types of conversations. And so you and him, I see on the communication level, you're saying you want that. That's kind of set the
that
benchmark.
set the benchmark.
But because it ended abruptly,
And he
y'all
was
need to have
so
a conversation
attentive to
about
me.
that.
And he was so attentive to me. I have not met another man that was that attentive and it wasn't spooky.
Like a stalker.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Well, and that's good, but D, I don't think you really know why it ended. Something is wrong. You don't really know why it ended. And the reasons that you have
Well, you
given,
know what you
give
brother
a different
doggone-
reason every time we talk about it, and they all sound like BS.
It might be BS. Well, guess what? You was the hookup king, so maybe it's your job to find out why it ended. How
The
about
reasons
that,
I got
people?
sounded like BS too.
Or maybe he's just BS. Or maybe he was a good BSer. Maybe you need to get a job doing that.
Or maybe it was something within him and he is unable to share with you the real reasons because it
that
was
might be
something
true.
internal within him.
And that's what It was all
And even though y'all was able to talk about a lot,
couldn't talk about
y'all
that.
couldn't talk about
But
that.
when I tell you he was attentive, baby, it was a great relationship.
Okay. Is that your check-in, D?
Hell, we just might as well keep rolling with what we're rolling with. We've been talking about, we haven't did any check-in crazy in the news or any of that stuff. So just,
Okay.
so
How about
let's just
For the
keep
sake of-
rolling with it because we only have like 30 minutes left.
For the sake of time, I do want to do a really quick mental health and illness.
Oh, but I do want to do a check-in, everyone. I know in the surrounding areas, and we're broadcast out the Kansas City area. We are voting on Tuesday. If you need to vote early, I voted today. Understand who you voting for, why you voting for them. Mental note: people want to tell us that we cannot have abortions, but you don't mandate birth control. You're about to make weed legal, and everybody can buy a gun and shoot up schools.
And
I'm
in some
just
states,
saying.
you don't even have to have it registered, licensed, or
Exactly.
anything. You
And I'm
buy
just
it.
saying, so understand who you're voting for. Instead of doing abortions, why don't we just mandate birth control when a woman's on welfare with 8 kids? Oh, was that the Republican in me talking?
I told you to keep the Republican to yourself.
Oops, sorry.
This is a Democrat state.
Pro-choice. Almost definitely is pro-choice. So just a little nugget I'm giving you guys, okay? So remember, please go out and vote in the Kansas City and Missouri area. Thank you.
I think the problem with voter turnout is people feeling like their vote doesn't count and that it doesn't matter. And that is incorrect. But part of the problem is in the U.S., the popular vote is not the deciding factor. And young people, they struggle to wrap their minds around how it is that a person can win the popular vote, which means the actual number of votes is in their favor. Like Hillary Clinton had more votes than Donald Trump, but he had more electoral votes and he won. And I think our young people are dismissed as being ignorant.
Should have learned that in government.
But they're not really being ignorant. They're saying that doesn't make sense to me. Most other countries do not elect officials like that. And so I don't think that we should dismiss our young people as, oh, y'all clueless, y'all don't understand, y'all ignorant, you don't want to vote. They're saying, no, my vote didn't count. So why am I bothering? Now, here's the thing. Yes, it is a problem that these elections are not decided by the popular vote, but the reason why you still need to vote is because there needs to be a certain number of votes in order for a candidate to get the electoral votes when it comes to electing our president. I'm talking about electing the president, not the election that's coming up. And so as a result of that, yeah, it's a ridiculous, antiquated, stupid, unfair system, but you got to work with what you got.
And we also have to start from the beginning because, yes, our vote elects the councilmen, the senators, and all those things. And in return, that's how they get the electoral votes. But for them to have that power, we got to give it to them. Okay, I'm not going to get on no box right now.
Yeah. When it comes to the problem with the Electoral College is the amount of electoral votes that certain states have doesn't even match with the percentage of the population that they have in the country. It is an unfair system, but young people, you have to work with what you have, and that's what we have. And so as a result of that, we need more voter turnout in order for a presidential candidate to get the electoral votes. Is it fair that there has to be drastically more votes for a person in order for the candidate to get that state's electoral votes? No, it's not fair, but we got to work with what we got. And in life, that is true resiliency, working with what you have. Throughout life, that is an approach to life. When you are low on funds, you are broke college student and you ain't got nothing but ramen noodles to eat, what you gonna do? Starve to death because you want steak and mashed
I do
potatoes?
not eat ramen noodles to this day. My children did not eat ramen noodles because I ate so many
Oh yeah,
ramen noodles.
because you
in
had to
college.
work with what you
I didn't know nothing
had.
about ramen noodles till I went to college.
I did all kind of stuff with them ramen noodles in college.
Everybody did.
I put eggs in the ramen noodles. Let me tell you, I try and I get nauseous when I eat ramen noodles. Now I can't eat them
Refuse
anymore.
So I can't even tell you.
But
about
I used to love them.
all them carbohydrates.
But
That's the reason why most of them have diabetes now.
they're actually really unhealthy.
Yes, that's why
ramen
it was
noodles
10
really
cents.
unhealthy.
They were 10 cents a package.
Yeah, they only probably 15 now. They still cheap.
Listen, the only thing that didn't go up with inflation was the
They are-
ramen noodles because
they
they're not
are-
right for you.
They are still cheap. But that's my point, that, please vote. You don't have to agree with the system. You are correct that it's a stupid, antiquated system.
It is.
But it is better to work within that system than to sit at home and not vote and then look crazy because, oh my God, I can't believe so and so won
Don't
the
say
election.
nothing. If you do not vote, you have no right to say anything about anything.
Right. Now, the upcoming vote, when it comes to voting, when it comes to, House of Representatives and the Senate, a lot of times people don't show up to vote in those elections, but you need to realize those are our lawmakers. And when whoever has the majority, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans,
In the Senate and the House of Representatives.
they end up with the bulk of power and their agenda gets pushed through.
Exactly.
So for those of you who are like, well, I'll vote, but I'm only voting for the president. Well, you're skipping out on voting.
And you're not voting for the president.
Yeah, you're skipping out on voting for the people who make the laws. So you can't skip those elections either. All right, let's get to mental health and illness in the news. Let's talk about White Lives Matter. This is very interesting.
Who are we going to talk about?
A racial justice radio show called Civic Cipher now owns the trademark on the phrase White Lives Matter. This is a show that highlights issues affecting the African American community. The listener, listen, this is going to prevent Kanye West from making money off of his White Lives Matter shirts. An individual owned the trademark for White Lives Matter and gave it to a black radio show called Civic Cipher. And so now, if Kanye or other people
They
put
are
out,
mad at him.
if they put out a product that has White Lives Matter on it, they're gonna get sued.
Or
they got to cut a
They
check.
got to cut a check.
Right. And so what the radio hosts have said is that any money that is made from White Lives Matter will be donated to causes that support the African American community. So even a racist like Kanye West, because just because he's black don't mean the fool ain't a racist. He's
I just
a racist.
think he's really mixed up. He's just going through some things. We need to.
That's not an excuse. He's a grown man.
He is,
He
but
needs
I
to
just
be
think
fully.
he's-
He needs to
needs
be
some
fully
medicine.
accountable and responsible, and he's
He needs some
clearly
medicine.
unmedicated. But even a racist like Kanye, if he sells those shirts in the U.S., he's going to have to cut a check to this radio show, and they will donate it to causes supporting the African American community. So black folks are going to make money off of a racist
White Lives Matter.
statement. I love it.
Hey, only in America,
Isn't that great? All right. So let's get to our question of the day.
which we already been stumbling all over it.
We've been stumbling all over, but I'm still going to break it all the way.
Come on and break it all the way down. Come help your co-host. So maybe I can find my Prince Charming. Oh, I'm sorry. My Prince Charming found me. Find me. Where are you, Boaz? I'm Ruth. I'm waiting.
Okay, here's what we're going to do.
I'll wash your feet with my hair.
All right. Oh, okay. And you'll towel the food down.
I towel them down
Get out the shower
and
wet.
wet
The
them back
D
up
will
with my
dry you
kisses.
off. Okay. Before we get to
And brush your waves.
before we get to some suggestions on how to deal with the problem of being single for those who do not want to be single. Now, before we get into this, let me say this. Marriage is not necessarily for everybody. So for those of you who are like, why does society say I have to get married? Society nor JP and Stacy D are saying that you have to get married. This is only an issue for those who, in the book that is their life, they want to write a chapter under marriage.
Yes.
The same goes
Yes.
for parenting. Not exactly, because anybody who wants to be a parent can be a parent. You don't have to be married. You can be a foster parent. You can be an adopted parent. You can use surrogates. So nothing but death should keep you from becoming a parent. But getting married, if that is something that you aspire to, that's who we are speaking to. I just need to make it really clear, because I do know people who are like, I don't want to get married, and I'm tired of people looking at me like it's something wrong with me because I've never been married, or because I don't want to get married. I don't believe in marriage. I this, I that, I this, and that's, I agree with that. Don't judge people because they don't want to get married. It's not for everybody.
So JP, you know what? I had a friend, and that's what she always said.
She want to get married.
No, she didn't want to get married.
Oh,
But she and I had a conversation probably about 5 months ago. And she said yes, but she just didn't want to be a failure at it. But she really
it was
do.
fear. And that is a deterrent, because a lot of people who shy away from marriage, they're like, well, 50% of them end in divorce, and I went through a horrible divorce with my parents when I was a kid, and I don't want to go through that. And so they give up and don't want to even give it a try. But you're not your parents. Who says that you have to be on the 50% side that didn't make it?
You know something my dad told me yesterday? We were talking.
What your daddy say? Your daddy, he's been married.
Yeah, he's been married to the same woman for over 40 years.
Oh, let's hear what he had to say.
We were talking, and he was like, loving someone is easy, and you might be able to love about 4 or 5 of them. But the prize is loving someone and able to live with them through thick and thin, and able to live in a house with them.
War, is that the truth? Living with somebody, because you can love somebody.
And my daddy showed him say some. You know, my daddy's a clowner.
Yeah,
But
that's
sometimes he
profound,
comes with
though.
some good. He comes with some good nuggets.
Well, because a lot of people fall in love, but they're not compatible
To live
under
with
the same roof.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be a major problem. And it confuses people, because they're like, how? I don't understand. We love each other, but I'm ready to strangle this person. And that's the reason why. Because I know you don't believe in this, D. I know you don't believe in it.
And shacking up.
Me and Nadine, we shacked. Ooh, we shacked. We shacked.
Y'all shacked it up.
Because here's the reason why. I was getting married so late in life. I was so comfortable single and
Was
living
Nadine
by
farting in
myself.
front of you?
What?
Was Nadine farting in front of you?
This woman ain't holding her gas. I ain't gonna
holding
tell. Please.
You're gonna get in trouble.
And at
when
our
you get
age,
home.
at our
You are
age,
gonna
even
get
if you
in
try to hold your
trouble.
gas, you can't. Let me tell you, only young people even have the option to hold. Okay, let's get back, because I ain't trying to get in trouble when I get home, because she's listening to the show. Okay. But we shacked because I thought it was important, because I wasn't like those single people who are unhappy and miserable single, and I was perfectly content in my own space. And she was too. And so we both needed to know, can we share space? And that's why we were able to get married, because we share space well. We share space well. There were some things that we had to work out. There were some wrinkles, because there's always going to be.
2,500 square foot house right now too.
But when we shack, now let me say this. Where we go? Let me say.
There go your ADHD. It doesn't matter if we're on the screen or not. Just keep it going.
But a lot of times when something's wrong and I watch the show later, the viewers see it too. That's why I got to address it. See, there we go. Check this out. You're right.
We have any questions?
It does help. It does help when you have a large enough space to retreat somewhere. I can go somewhere in our house. I be hearing her walking around. She be looking for me.
Now y'all got about.
But it's gonna take a while before she finds
It's
me.
more than like. Y'all got about 50,000 square feet.
It's
pretty big.
It's a lot of space.
A lot of space for
And
people.
there's rooms we don't even use. We don't even use some rooms, and those are the ones that I go to when I just need to be by myself
Sasha Poole
and watch a
with
show on Netflix. Oh, Sasha gonna find me wherever I'm
She
at,
sure is.
cause she be all over the house. Now she use all the rooms.
She use all the rooms.
She used all the rooms. But when we shacked, we did not shack in no big house. We shacked actually in a small house, because I really wanted to know, because that's the true test of if you can live with somebody, if y'all can share a small space. Now, it wasn't small like an apartment, because even compatible people end up choking each other in an apartment, like a small apartment. Like that's just a bit much. But it was a small house, and we were able to share space, and it wasn't big enough for us to escape and disappear somewhere in that crib. So yes, I believe in shacking. I believe in doing whatever you got to do to end up on the other side of the 50%. And I know that this is, if my sister's watching, because she's gonna say that it's sinful or whatever to encourage this, but I also believe in premarital sex. I think that people need to know.
I do too.
Well, you came out of your mama and got pregnant, D. So the D.
I do too. I don't believe in but I don't believe in shacking. But I believe in getting it on, but not shacking. Okay?
I do not
Two
understand
different
that.
things.
How are you okay with getting it on, but you're not okay with shacking? Because, like, getting it on is a heavier act than.
Not to me.
D, you need to know if you can live with a fool.
Oh, maybe maybe that's my problem.
Actually, in your marriages, was that ever a problem? Did you ever have problems living with your husband? That's the reason why you don't need to shack, because you're probably easy to live with. I don't
really
think
am.
I'm necessarily easy to live with.
I'm a Libra, so y'all know I'm easy going. I have lots of love. I should have been a flower child or a hippie or something.
You got a little hippie in you.
Yeah, I do.
Well, I'm a Taurus. I don't know what that means.
Now you mean
but
I got 3 Tauruses in my house. 3. That's
But
why we get along
I
so
don't
well.
think I'm
'Cause I just
easy to live
ignored
with.
the bull.
Yeah,
He says woo woo. I said okay, no problem.
I wish,
Let
Mr.
him be in
Walker,
control.
please
He's in control.
note the comments. I need for my wife to comment. I've never asked her, am I hard to live with?
Huh?
And so, but I just
Call
assumed.
in, Nadine.
I just assumed that I was, because I lived alone for so many years, that I was like, we need to shack, because I'm probably difficult to live with.
You probably were.
And so I don't know. I wonder what she thinks, because I didn't ask her. Am I hard to live with?
But we're
I
women.
said, we in this house, let's make it work.
We're women are nurturers. So we just ignore a lot of the BS for men. Unless you get some of those alpha women, which I do not agree with, they rah. And I'm not in every other instance.
That's what makes you easy to live with.
Yeah, in every other instance, I am that alpha woman, which I don't agree with. But at home with my significant other, I'm nothing
You don't
but a
do
little
all
cat.
that. You know how
I'm
to
just
chill.
a purr. I chill.
Well, that's why it's okay that you don't shack. You're not hard to live with.
And that's the reason why I don't shack, because I'm not gonna give you all this. Okay, you can have the sex, but all my love and my
Oh, you had a sex.
but all my love and my good cooking and I'm cleaning your clothes and I'm getting your clothes out and ironing your clothes and keeping the house clean and picking up after you. I'm not doing that for any other man.
How is
except
there
for my husband?
How is there more value on all of that? But you had a sex.
You can have
But he's
the
like,
sex.
you want sex? I give you sex.
You can have the sex, but
Oh my God.
but all the cooking and the cleaning and just dealing with you, sharing my bed with you and stuff. I just think that's a lot. Sharing my space.
Okay, you know what? Let's take a clinical look at that, even though it's hilarious. But there is some validity to what the D is saying, because we're talking about two different types of intimacy. And what you are talking about is emotional intimacy.
Yes.
And so what you're saying is that you are much more willing to give
physical
sexual intimacy, but when it comes to the emotional intimacy, he got to put a ring on it to get all
It's
that.
gonna be the sexual intimacy that's gonna get you to put that ring on it when I take you around the world. Okay.
Oh Lord.
And these are not the views of KUAW Radio.
Oh my goodness.
Only JP and Stacy G.
The D, she will get the D is making it perfectly clear. You had that say, all those men that have been trolling on Facebook, they just heard you say that, D. Now you're gonna be getting all kind of
That's
sexual
why I've been telling them
offers.
about the treasure. I'm gonna give you the treasure. If I give you the treasure, you better get ready. It's gonna be a whole nother one.
Okay, there's a couple of comments. Do I have a closet? That was a question, and the other one is, I know that's right.
Okay, the closet.
Wait a minute. Was that my wife?
I don't know. It says,
Do I have a closet? That's my wife. Let me explain what she's talking about.
D is thinking like a man. Ain't mad about it.
The D do think like a man. Okay. I do happen to have clothes in all the closets in our house,
JP, we just
with the
alive.
exception. This woman act like she ain't got no damn closet though. She has a
I
closet.
got 10 bedrooms.
I got clothes in all the closets in all of the bedrooms except Sashi's, and I had to take them out of there because before she was born, I had clothes in there too. I have clothes in the closet that's in her office. And so, but for her to say, this woman don't say she ain't got no closet, that's not true. She has a closet. She has a closet in our room, and in the guest bedroom, one of the guest bedrooms has 2 closets, and she got clothes in there. I don't know what she got in there actually.
So she has 2 out the 10. She has 2 out of the 10 closets at the Payne's home. Sasha has 1, which means JP has 7 closets. Okay.
It's a 5-bedroom house. Listen, I'm going to check that closet in
How
that
about the
guest
hallway
bedroom
closet?
because if
What
she
about the
ain't
hallway
properly
closet?
using it, I do need it.
Another comment says, Mr. Payne is bougie. That's why he has them closets.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. This have came up before. JP is very bougie.
We need to
okay, you
move
guys?
on.
Another closet says, give Mrs. Payne more closet now.
Oh my God, I'm under full attack.
Better you than me. How about
Listen, because we are planning to move, and when we move, I'm getting rid of lots of clothes because most of these clothes I don't even wear.
So why do you even? Oh, let me stop.
You know how you
'cause I
tell
don't
yourself
either.
that you're gonna lose enough weight to get back in them clothes,
Yeah, 'cause
right?
some of
And
that-
when you
especially that some of that stuff was expensive too. You know, what? We used to spend a lot of
Yes.
money. We used to go shopping together.
and let me
We
tell
wanna
you,
get back in those clothes.
it's an emotional thing. It feels bad to get rid of them because it's like I'm giving up on getting back to my goal weight,
Oh,
and I don't want to give up.
but I just for everybody.
I want to lose weight.
JP is really at a nice size. He may be a 34 in the waist.
I'm 34.
You a 30? Boy, you tell me the D's not good.
The D know what you talking
But
about.
let me tell you something. If you more than a 42 in the waist, I'm not messing with you. But anyway,
I go up to 36 though. I got some 36 and some 34s, and
okay,
I
let the
want to be
36
32.
go. Let the 30. I think that's a little too little for you. Let the 36 go. We're not getting. We don't. All the big clothes they bye.
What's too big? You said 42.
36 for me. A 42. If your waist is more than a 42, I'm not dealing with you.
That's really big, D.
But I can do a 42. Yeah, he's 42 and he's at least 6'3", 6'5".
D.
I didn't say a 44 or a 46. I said a 42. That's nothing but up 2 sizes from a 38. A 42.
D. That's really.
No, it's not. It's a nice size. And if you 6'3" and 6'5", you know you got to be. You know how tall. You know you got to be this tall to ride the ride.
Oh God, here we go. Okay, let's get to the question of the day. Are there any other attacks?
Okay. Well, they did
on
say
JP?
I did see one say it's my life struggle.
That's Nadine Marie.
And then another one says, well, hell, I want to be size 10.
I'm going to get rid of all them little clothes that I might never.
And they
be
say
able
if
to
he's,
wear.
he's thick at 42.
Oh, you thick. Well, he's
42.
yeah.
That's
That's a nice
is it
size. 42
is like this.
No, 42 is not like that. You got to think about
D. If I'm 30.
what size you wearing.
40 now. I was 42.
And look, he's
Okay.
look.
Okay.
No, it's nice size. It's you 6'3", 6'5". Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay.
He thick,
Okay.
able to pick the D up,
I refuse
and
to
not
go.
have no back problems.
I refuse to go past 36.
I get you.
But I'm struggling to get rid of those 32s that's in them closets.
Don't get rid of the 32, but get rid of all the 36s. We're not messing with the 36. The 36 is bye bye now.
What's wrong? I don't understand how
You can
36
stay in
is
a
not
34.
okay.
I'm saying for you, not for me.
No, but in general, how is 36 too big?
36 is a nice size. You don't want to be in a 36. You
I
want
wanna
to
be
get back
at
down to
32.
32. Exactly. But you have 36, so you can get rid of all the 36s. So guess what? That's one closet for you, Nadine. You're
Oh,
able
Lord.
to have one more closet, Nadine. Okay, so now you're about to have 3.
Yeah, they say 42 is too big. 34, 36 is ideal.
Nah, that's too little for me.
That's where I'm at.
Do you know how tiny you'll be at 6'3", 6'5", and wearing a 34 or 36? Look at Mr. Walker. Mr. Walker's in a 40.
Why do tall people have to be bigger? I don't understand.
And they say, thanks, D.
Basketball
You
basketball players are tall and wearing 32.
Yeah, and they're very slinky. That's what Chris. Who's a little R&B singer? Chris who? What's his name?
Who are you talking?
The one that had the green hair, the blue hair, Chris Brown.
Oh, Chris Brown.
Chris Brown is so lanky, and he's like a 32, and he's like 6'3". I will not be. No, you have to have some meat on your bone. I'm sorry. Yeah, and that's just my preference. That's what the D likes.
Okay, so for all of you men that have
'Cause mind
been
you,
hitting the D up on Facebook, even though we haven't even started the
be this-
Facebook dating app
This
yet,
tall to ride the ride.
let's screen out some of those men. The D has made it clear that you can be up to 42. You need to be between 38 and 42,
No,
36 and 42,
no,
40 and 42,
between 40 and 42.
and at least 6 foot what?
At least 6'1" to 6'5".
Okay, now the guy you were talking about at length earlier, ain't he shorter than me?
No, he is 6 feet tall.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. When I stood
D,
up
I'm
next to him-
5'9".
No,
I
he's
done shrunk to
taller than you.
5'9".
He's taller than you.
He's taller than me.
Yes. See, I know
He
when
is
I
not
stand
taller
because
than me.
I'm 5'2" and a half. So when I stand up and I can just look up, be like, ooh wee, then I know how tall you are.
That fool is not taller
Yes,
than me.
he is. Call in because you know he's watching.
He probably ain't watching. This is I've been knowing this fool for 30 years. I'm gonna have to check and see. Okay,
He's 6
so
feet.
he was tall enough. Okay,
He was
so
tall enough.
for all you guys out there that are hitting the
He was a
D
little
up,
bit slender than what I wanted.
because
but
we gonna get your dating stuff together right now. Okay,
That's right.
one, you need to be around 40 to 42. You need to be 6 feet tall. The D, she'll give you the sex, but you ain't moving into her house. Did we cover everything?
That's about the
Can he be broke?
hell no.
Okay. Let's get to this. We got to get to this because this is a lot to cover. Okay. Now,
We didn't even do our question today, I don't think, you guys.
we are getting to the question of the day.
At 2:55.
Well, because we're going to get through most of it, part of it. Okay. For single people who are trying to figure out, I have accomplished everything I wanted in life. Why am I still single? Let me first say, you are not single because there is something wrong with you. When I get women and men who come into therapy presenting this problem, they are always starting out with what's wrong with me. You are not single because there's something wrong with you. Now, let me say this. I'm not saying this, one, just to be nice. What I'm saying is, even if there is something wrong with you, that's not why you're single, because there's somebody for everybody. So regardless of what you think is wrong with you, that is not why you are single. Now, with that said, if there is something wrong with you, if you are struggling with some things like insecurities, issues around jealousy, whatever it is that puts a strain on a relationship, you do need to accept responsibility for working on self-improvement. But don't think that because you are struggling with these things that nobody wants you. That's not true. Okay?
Check mark. Next.
Yes.
Got 4 minutes.
Now, I want to talk about the DAP. And this is the Dating Accessibility Pyramid. I came up with this myself. Now, what I want you to do is imagine a pyramid, okay? Imagine a pyramid, because before we get to solving this problem, I think we're
going to have a part 2 to this.
We're going to have to do part 2. I want to explain how dating goes from high school until people get married. This is what happens, okay? When we enter high school, we enter into the pyramid. It's picture a pyramid. The largest part of the pyramid is at the bottom.
Until we in high school?
No. That's just where I'm starting, because any dating prior to that is kiddie dating. But when you're in high school, you enter into the dating accessibility pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, the base of the pyramid, meaning those are your most options for dating.
Yo, you had the whole high school.
Right. So that's where we enter, right? Now, the pyramid's large base represents entering the dating world at its largest point, which is sheer amount of options and openness to dating at that time, and the simplicity of dating. Because when you date in high school, it ain't about a whole bunch of how much money you make. I work at Burger King, you work at McDonald's. What you mean? I make the same minimum wage.
You had to have a car.
Okay, so that shrinks the pyramid. So for the D, back in high school, her dating pool was a little smaller, because if you didn't have a car, you couldn't get with the D. Okay. But for most high schoolers, that is when you have the most dating options. Okay. Now, openness to dating is something that goes on in that stage of life, because teens are adventurous. And the reason why I'm addressing this is because if you want to expand, because as we go through life, we move up the pyramid,
JP,
and our dating options are
we
smaller.
should have did the dating pyramid on part 2 on next Thursday, because people are going to forget about the pyramid tomorrow. I mean, next Thursday. Isn't that right, Mr. Walker?
Well, yes, I forgot.
I'll review it. I'm gonna review it. Here's what. Let me just say this. Let me say this, because I do need to cover this pyramid.
Yes.
Here's what I want you all to think about in preparation for part 2. When it comes to the dating accessibility pyramid, as we go through life, as we get older, as we become more accomplished, we move up the pyramid and our dating options shrink and shrink and shrink. And so, if you are closer to the top of that pyramid,
What age is the top of the pyramid? My age or Mr. Walker's age?
Mr. Walker ain't trying to date nobody.
Yeah, I'm just talking about
Because
the
Miss
age.
Walker done made it clear he ain't dating nobody.
But what's the so am I at the middle of the pyramid?
That's what we got to figure out.
Oh, hell no. Y'all stay tuned for next week.
But listen, this is what I want y'all to think about, because what I'm going to present is, if you are closer to the top of the pyramid and your dating options are small, you might need to strategically move yourself further down the pyramid by tapping into some of those aspects lower in the pyramid. Kind of like I was saying, teens are adventurous, right? Teenagers are adventurous.
I'm not going
They just
with a
want
broke
to kick
man.
it. Their expectations are low. You know, they are diversified in their dating.
Expectations are low. Okay, stop. We're going to talk about the pyramid next week. We'll leave the pyramid alone right now.
Okay. But here's what I want people to think about. You're not stuck wherever you are in the pyramid. There is some mobility. Are you going to be able to go all the way down to the dating pool that teenagers have? No.
Please
you are
don't.
not going to have as many options as like a 18-year-old. You're not. Unless you're dating 18-year-olds.
No.
Because older people who date people who are significantly younger, what they're doing is tapping into lower parts of the pyramid because there's more options. See, D, you are closer to the top of this pyramid because, let me explain why. You screening people out based upon waist size, based upon height. They can't be broke. They can't, you not shacking. Like, D, you shrinking the pyramid with all that. Dating accessibility pyramid.
We got another question?
No, but we got to wrap this up. All right. That's our show for today. Thank you for joining us. And remember, worry about nothing.
And try to make your pyramid bigger.
I knew she was going to say, I could
we're
tell.
not going to do with the broke men, though, okay? And we're going to pray about that God is going to bring me my Boaz. Amen.
I knew you were still thinking about that.
You know how my mind is.
You are like, oh, my pyramid. D,
Now
we
you
are
got me
going
like stressing out about the pyramid now.
No, but see, you are going to be the perfect guinea pig when I truly present the pyramid, because I'm going to break the pyramid all the way down, and we're going to see where you at, and we're going to see if we can maybe expand your pyramid.
They say there is less people at the top of the pyramid.
Yes. A lot less.
And earlier is that because we require less or more that causes it to shrink? That we require less or more?
Because we require more.
Or less?
Because
okay. You said more?
We require more because a lot of the stuff you're throwing out now, I sincerely doubt you cared about all those things when you was a teenager.
Heck no.
Exactly.
No, because my first kid's father, I think he's like 2 inches taller than me, but he's real bow-legged.
And he probably was broke.
Yeah, but he had a car.
See?
He had wealthy parents.
All right. That's our show for today. Thank
And
you for
remember to
joining
like us on Facebook and YouTube.
and share.
And share. Sharing is caring. Bye-bye now.